thought he had a great game. And as you say, it's unusual you say that when he's having kind of very little impact in possession. But Liverpool didn't have an awful lot of the ball. And also, he was being man-marked throughout the game. So that, he found it hard to get space. That was obviously a big part of Chelsea's plan, was to close him down. But, the job is there as a fullback is if you can't have impact in possession, then do your job out of possession. And he absolutely did that. I mean, he was outstanding, really. I mean, it's no coincidence that Sancho gets dragged off at half-time because he'd had zero impact on the game. Trent wasn't allowing him to. And I thought Neto maybe a touch more dangerous. But as you say, a lot of the time was being forced inside to try and run at the centre halves because the idea of getting on the outside, he just wasn't getting any change out of Trent whatsoever. And, I don't want to almost get too wrapped up in this single performance as answering the critics, because I think a lot of the criticism of Trent's defending has been over the top, full stop, over the last few years, because ultimately you can't win the Champions League, you can't win the Premier League with 90-odd points if you've got an absolute liability defensively on the right-hand side of your defence. So he's never, ever been as bad as people make out. But I do think there has been that little small step up that is maybe, he's even better in his one-on-one defending now. It probably helps as well that he's in a system that is set up and is a little bit more structured and a bit, he's not having to go 1v1 constantly as he maybe was under Jurgen Klopp, where it was just slightly more chaotic, or he's not being caught in midfield as much. Liverpool pick and choose when they do that inversion now. So I think the system is helping slightly, but I do think there's been a kind of an uptick in his attitude towards the defending as well. And as I say, never as bad as was made out, but he was already very good. But he's kicked on a level, and I'd like to see if the likes of Gary Neville and Roy Keane watched that game, what they thought of it. I'm sure they would have been very, very impressed with his defending, because he was brilliant.